Have you ever wondered what it feels like to wake up without that silent heaviness pressing against your chest? To rise each morning without the invisible chains of other people's expectations tightening around your spirit? Imagine opening your eyes to a world where you no longer spend your precious energy trying to fit into shapes you were never meant to hold. Where you no longer exhaust yourself explaining who you are or justifying why you feel the way you do. Picture walking through your day with the quiet, grounded confidence of a mountain, unmoved by passing winds of opinion, untouched by the swirling moods around you. A life where self-doubt melts away like morning mist, revealing a clear sky of inner freedom. A life where your peace remains your own, unclouded by anyone's words, moods, or judgments. This isn't just a comforting fantasy. It is a way of living rooted deeply in timeless Buddhist wisdom. In this video, I will share 7 powerful lessons that will guide you to release what weighs you down, return to your true self, and taste the quiet joy of being free. Not just once, but every single day you walk this earth. And stay with me until the end, because there is a special bonus lesson waiting for you. One that may shift the way you experience your life from this day forward. Lesson 1. Release what burns you. Have you ever noticed how sometimes it isn't life itself that hurts us, but what we refuse to let go of? Imagine holding onto a thick rope with all your strength. At first it feels secure, but soon your grip tightens and the rope begins to burn your skin, cutting deeper with every passing moment. Still, you hold on, believing that letting go would be worse than the pain. That rope in your life might be the constant need to please everyone. The fear that if you fail, you will no longer be loved. It might be a memory that replays itself in your mind each night, leaving you restless and wounded. Or the invisible pressure to be perfect in a world that demands too much and gives too little. Buddha taught that suffering does not come from life's moments themselves, but from our desperate clinging to them. We hold on to praise and fear criticism. We grip tightly to relationships, identities, and thoughts as if they will keep us safe. But life is like a river. Everything flows and changes. When we clutch at the water, it slips through our fingers, and all we feel is the emptiness of our grasp. What if you chose today to loosen your grip? Letting go is not weakness. It is not abandoning your life or your responsibilities. It is opening your hand and realizing that the pain was never in the rope itself, but in the way you held it. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself standing still, with that burning rope clenched in your fist. Feel the pain radiating up your arm, into your heart. Now, take a slow breath and open your hand. Feel the rope slip away. The pain eases. Your shoulders drop. The sky above feels wider. This is the quiet power of letting go. It is not about giving up on life, but about giving up the illusion that you can control what was never yours to keep. It is in this surrender that true peace arises. Happiness does not come from holding life tightly in your hands. It blooms when you stand open to each moment, free from its chains. Lesson 2. Release the need for approval. Since childhood, we have been taught a silent lesson, that our worth lives in the eyes of others. We learned to seek smiles of approval to feel lovable. We were praised when we conformed, corrected when we wandered off the marked path. Slowly, without realizing it, we built our lives on shifting sands, measuring our value by the nods and claps of the crowd. In this search for acceptance, we become like soft clay, forever changing shape to fit different hands. We hide the wild parts of ourselves that feel too strange to be loved. We quiet our voices when they threaten to reveal our truth. We say yes when every bone in us whispers no. And so, piece by piece, the vibrant sculpture of who we truly are begins to crumble. But Buddhism reminds us of a simple, unbreakable truth. Happiness never depends on applause. Imagine a lotus blooming silently on a still pond. It does not open for praise. It blooms because blooming is its nature. In the same way, your worth exists beyond every compliment or criticism. It lives in the quiet center of your being. Ask yourself honestly, do I approve of who I am? Because if your peace depends on someone else's approval, it will dissolve the moment they turn away. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will agree with your journey, and that is perfectly okay. The ancient pine stands tall through every season without seeking the approval of the winter wind. The moon glows with quiet grace whether or not anyone looks up to admire it. They exist in their fullness, untouched by opinion, and so can you. When you let go of the need to be understood, something beautiful happens. You hear your own voice again, clear as a temple bell ringing in dawn's quiet air. You ask yourself, what is true for me? What feels right in my heart? You begin to live from the inside out, guided not by the fleeting praise of others, but by the silent compass of your soul. This is where true freedom and unshakable joy begin, when you stop trying to impress the world and instead stand in quiet awe of your own being. Lesson 3. Welcome the beauty of impermanence. There is a silent truth woven into the fabric of life. Everything changes. Yet so much of our pain arises when we forget this. We wish for golden moments to last forever, for people to remain as they once were, for relationships to hold the same warmth, for our bodies to stay youthful and strong. We long for life to stand still in the scenes we love most. But existence does not work that way. Look around you. The seasons dance in endless circles, spring folding into summer, summer fading into autumn's quiet gold. The river never pauses in its journey to the sea. Even the mountains, which seem eternal, are slowly shaped by time and wind. This is what the Buddha called anicca, the truth of impermanence. Everything you see, touch, or feel is in a state of becoming and dissolving. Our friendships shift like tides. Our emotions rise and fall like moonlit waves upon dark water. And even the person we were yesterday has already transformed by today. When we resist this truth, we suffer. It's like trying to hold a handful of river water. The tighter we grip, the faster it slips away, leaving only emptiness in our palms. The river was never meant to be contained. It was born to flow. Often, our deepest sadness does not come from endings themselves, but from our belief that something should have lasted forever. We cling to the way things were, the version of ourselves, of a relationship, or of life that once felt secure. And in that clinging, we feel lost and broken when change arrives. But what if impermanence is not our enemy, but our greatest gift? Without change, wounds would never heal. Grief would never soften. Winter's chill would never give way to spring's quiet blossoms. New beginnings are only possible because endings exist. When you embrace this truth, your life transforms. You love people more deeply because you know your time together is precious and fleeting. You begin to value each moment for what it is, not for how long it will stay. You learn to let go with grace when life asks you to, understanding that letting go is simply creating space for something new to grow. Perfection was never the point of this life. Presence is. Being here, fully awake to the sacred impermanence of it all. So if something is changing in your life right now, breathe into it. Let go of your tight grip on what was. Flow with the river. Trust that just as the sun slips below the horizon each night, it rises again in quiet splendor. Within this acceptance lies a happiness that no storm can ever wash away. Lesson 4. Return to the quiet within. From the moment you wake each morning, the world begins its relentless whispering. Before your feet touch the floor, your phone lights up with messages, news, and endless scrolls of other people's lives. Notifications tell you what you're missing. Ads insist you're incomplete. Opinions shout how you should think, feel, and be. Slowly, almost without noticing, your peace becomes tangled in threads of noise, in expectations you never chose, in comparison that dim your light, in worries about lives that aren't yours to live. This outer noise seeps in, clouding your mind until you no longer hear the quiet truth of your own heart. Buddhism teaches us the power of mindful detachment. It is not about rejecting the world or escaping life's duties. It is about learning to stand in the middle of life's storms without being blown away. It is knowing when the world's noise has become your own and gently choosing silence instead. Imagine your mind as a still, clear lake. When disturbed by endless ripples, it cannot reflect the sky above. Only in stillness does it reveal clarity again. The ancient monks understood this. They spent hours in silence, not because they had nothing to say, but because they wanted to hear something deeper. The voice beyond words, the knowing beyond thought. But you do not need a monastery to find that silence. You only need a moment. Sit beneath a tree and listen to the wind breathing through its leaves. Walk without headphones and feel the world's rhythm touch your soul. Pause before reaching for your phone in the morning and instead reach for your breath. Let your thoughts slow. Let your senses awaken. Mindful detachment is also the art of non-reactivity. Not every message demands your reply. Not every comment deserves your energy. Not every ripple needs to shake your peace. You can watch life unfold around you and remain grounded within, like a mountain unmoved by passing storms. This is what Buddhism calls equanimity, a heart that remains steady amidst life's shifting tides. The more you cultivate it, the less the world can pull you away from yourself. You no longer feel compelled to prove your worth or chase approval in likes and fleeting praise. You begin to find quiet joy in simply being, doing less but feeling more, saying less but meaning more. If you feel overwhelmed and disconnected right now, know that your center has never left you. The world's noise may have drowned your voice, but your true self is still there, patiently waiting for your return. You do not need to create this calm. You simply need to come home to it. And each time you return to that silent place within, you taste a deeper happiness, one untouched by the world outside, rising softly like dawn within your own heart. Lesson 5. You are the sky, not the clouds. One of the most freeing truths Buddhism offers is this: you are not your thoughts. Yet, from morning to night, we believe every whisper of the mind as if it is an unbreakable truth, a command to obey, or a mirror reflecting who we really are. But thoughts are not facts. They are like passing clouds. Some drift by lightly, carrying playful shapes of hope and inspiration. Others arrive dark and heavy, filled with fears, regrets, or quiet sadness. But no matter how powerful they appear, clouds can never stain the sky itself. The sky remains vast and untouched behind every fleeting formation. That sky is who you truly are, silent, aware, and immeasurable. Imagine your mind as a radio playing in the background. It broadcasts countless channels, judgment, planning, memories, worries. But just because it plays does not mean you have to listen to every station. Buddhism teaches us to observe the mind like a monk, listening to temple bells, hearing them but never becoming them. When your thoughts say, "I'm not good enough," or "they don't like me," you don't need to argue or obey. You can simply notice, that thought has come again. Watch it pass by like a bird flying across an open sky. It came, it will go, you remain. Most of us were never taught this way of relating to the mind. We confuse thinking with truth. We take every fearful whisper as a verdict upon our worth. But so many of these voices are echoes from the past, beliefs planted in us by others, long before we could question them. Think of a calm lake. When a stone of anger is thrown in, ripples spread, but soon the water returns to stillness. When a leaf of joy lands softly, it floats without disturbing the depth below. Your awareness is like that lake. Thoughts may enter, but you do not need to cling to them. You do not need to push them away either. Simply let them come and go. When you live with this understanding, your emotional life transforms. Anxiety becomes a witness, not a sea to drown in. Self-doubt loses its power because you see it as a habit of the mind, not the truth of your being. Anger passes more quickly, for you no longer feed it with your attention. And in that silent space between a thought and your reaction, you find your freedom. So the next time a painful thought arises, pause. Breathe deeply. Ask yourself with gentle honesty, is this thought helping me or harming me? If it harms, let it pass like clouds drifting across your sky. Don't argue with it. Don't fight it. Simply don't follow it. The more you practice this, the clearer your life becomes. Happiness does not come from controlling your thoughts. It comes from remembering you were never their prisoner. You are the sky itself, wide, quiet, and free. Lesson 6. Stop chasing joy. Live it now. We spend so much of our lives running after a happiness that always seems just out of reach, like a mirage flickering on the distant horizon. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I have more money, when my body finally looks different, when the right person loves me, when all my problems go away. But this way of thinking traps us in a silent prison of waiting for the perfect day to begin living, waiting for peace to arrive, like a gift from the future, waiting for life to finally feel complete. Buddhism whispers a deeper truth. Happiness is not something to chase. It is something to come home to. It is already here, hidden beneath the noise of your restless mind. But you cannot feel it because your thoughts are always somewhere else, tangled in regrets of yesterday or fears of tomorrow, counting what you lack instead of seeing what you hold. You are not unhappy because your life is missing something. You are unhappy because you have forgotten how to sit with the life you already have. The present moment is never your enemy. It is not broken. It is not lacking. It is not an obstacle. It is your life, unfolding perfectly, breath by breath. Everything you long for, peace, contentment, quiet joy, it is all woven into this moment, if only you pause to notice it. When your mind races towards the next goal, the next achievement, you miss the silent miracles blooming around you, the morning light painting your room with gold, the warmth of tea in your hands, the quiet breath rising and falling within your chest. These are not small things. They are life itself. The truth is, happiness is not a grand event waiting at the end of your achievements. It is not something earned by perfecting yourself. If you keep running after it, you will find only exhaustion, because the moment you reach what you desired, your mind will move the finish line further away. There is no end to the chase, only to your willingness to keep running. Buddhism invites us to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to be fully here. Not to fix the moment, but to experience it. Even in times of pain, even in days heavy with grief, there is a sacredness to life if you meet it without resistance. Peace does not come from changing what is happening, but from changing how you choose to hold it. Try this now. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel your body resting where it is. Sense the weight of your hands. Listen to the quiet between sounds. Feel the air on your skin. Let everything be as it is, without demanding it to be different. This is your life. This moment, right here, is where happiness blooms, not as a reward for your striving, but as your natural state, quietly waiting to be remembered. So, stop waiting for the next big thing to rescue you. Stop believing joy lives around some hidden corner. Sit down. Take a slow, gentle breath. Come back to this moment. It is enough. You are enough. And in that soft knowing, happiness reveals itself. Not as a treasure you must hunt for, but as the quiet song your heart has been singing all along. Lesson 7. Choose compassion over control. Free yourself and others. There is a silent struggle many carry each day, the deep, restless urge to control. We try to control what others think of us, how they act, how life unfolds, how love stays, how pain leaves. We build invisible walls around our hearts, believing that if we grip hard enough, life will obey us. But beneath this urge lies a quiet fear, the fear of being hurt, of being misunderstood, of everything falling apart if we loosen our hold. So we cling tightly to people, to outcomes, to plans carved in stone. Yet each time we tighten our grip, suffering wraps itself tighter around us. Buddhism shows us a gentler way. Peace is not found in bending life to our will, but in releasing the need to do so. Imagine the energy you spend trying to fix what is not yours to fix, trying to change someone who is not ready to grow, trying to hold on to relationships that want to flow away like water through your fingers, trying to rewrite the past through endless regret, trying to force happiness to arrive on your timetable. Why do we suffer so deeply? Because control goes against the natural flow of life. It's like trying to stop a river with your bare hands. The harder you push, the more tired and broken you feel. But what if you chose compassion instead? Compassion doesn't come from fear or force. It comes from understanding, from deep wisdom that sees life as it is and welcomes it with kindness. Where control hardens, compassion softens. Where control seeks certainty, compassion feels peace in the unknown. Imagine if you stopped trying to control every outcome. What if you let people be who they are, even when it hurts? What if you forgave, not because they deserved it, but because your heart is too sacred to hold bitterness? What if you let go of needing to be understood by everyone, knowing your path is yours alone? You would feel lighter, not because the world changed, but because you freed yourself from its chains. Compassion is not weakness. It is not passive surrender. It is the strongest force within you, the courage to love without needing to own, to let go without holding bitterness, to wish someone well even as they walk away. And this same compassion must be given to yourself too. Stop trying to control your healing. Healing isn't something to rush or perfect. It's a quiet unfolding, like a flower that blooms in its own time. Stop blaming yourself for still feeling pain. Stop measuring your journey against timelines that were never made for you. Pause. Take a breath. Feel your heart gently beating in your chest. With each beat it whispers, I am here. I am trying. I am enough. You don't need to control every step to feel worthy. You don't need to hurry to feel complete. You are growing quietly, little by little, like the dawn rising behind still mountains, unnoticed by many, yet unstoppable in its light. In a world that celebrates busyness, productivity, and constant self-improvement, the idea of doing nothing feels almost wrong. We are taught that resting means wasting time. That being still means falling behind. That simply being is not enough. But Buddhism offers a very different perspective. Doing nothing isn't emptiness. It is presence. Think of a mountain. It stands silent and still, yet its calm shapes the rivers that flow from it. It shelters the forests that grow upon it and holds the sky on its peaks. In its quiet, it becomes strong. In its stillness, it becomes timeless. What if you allowed yourself to be like that mountain? To sit in silence without needing to fix, plan, or analyze. To breathe without trying to become someone else. To feel your heartbeat without rushing it toward the future. Because when you pause for a moment, you see that your worth was never tied to your achievements. Your peace isn't built on your productivity. Your life is not a task to finish. It is a miracle to experience. Stillness isn't laziness. It is deep wisdom. It is the space where your clearest insights appear. It is the moment when your tired soul finally catches up with your busy body and softly whispers what it has wanted to say all along. Slow down. You are already enough. You don't need to earn your place in this world. You were born worthy, and no amount of striving will ever make you more complete than you already are. So today, gift yourself a moment of doing nothing, even if it's just for a few minutes. Sit by your window and watch the sky. Close your eyes and listen to your breath. Feel the quiet joy of simply being alive. Because in that stillness, you will discover a strength greater than any achievement. A strength that comes not from how hard you push, but from how deeply you can rest within yourself. Conclusion. As you move forward today, keep this in mind. Happiness doesn't wait for you at the end of some far-off success. It lives quietly within every breath you take. Peace doesn't come from controlling every moment, but from learning to let life move through you, like the wind through ancient trees. You are not your thoughts. You are not your fears. You are not what others think of you. You are something much deeper. An awareness untouched by the world's noise, a quiet strength rising from the stillness within. So let go of the rope that burns your hand. Let go of the need for approval. Embrace the beauty of impermanence. Return to the quiet space within your heart. Remember, you are the sky, vast, calm, and free. If these lessons touched your soul today, I invite you to join me on this journey of inner awakening. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a moment of quiet wisdom and Buddhist teachings to guide your days. Share in the comments which of these lessons did you need the most today. I read every reflection, and your journey inspires this whole community. Like this video if it brought you peace, and share it with someone who might need these reminders today. Until we meet again, may you walk gently with yourself, with others, and with this fleeting, beautiful life. Stay present, stay free, and keep returning to the quiet truth of who you are.